We're going to start off with some recent news that's happened. Today, I found out about half an hour ago, this happened today. A Chinese diplomat in BC, I believe, has just been expelled from Canada.
Yeah.
He was found guilty of spying. For the Chinese government. And so from what I know, his family is from Hong Kong, and the Chinese government, the CCP, was putting pressure on his family and him to spy on Canada and on Canadians, and to also, I believe, influence lawmakers in Canada.
Yeah, and I think that's the headline they're mostly running with, is that he was targeting lawmakers.
Yeah, so that's what it was. He was targeting lawmakers to try and influence the way Canadian law is made in elections and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would benefit ultimately the CPP.
That would
CCP.
Yeah, and he's denied all these claims, but he is leaving the country voluntarily. He's not being forced or anything like that. He had been investigated a while ago for doing this too, so it's a good thing. Finally got put down.
Poor choice of words.
I know. Outside of that, related to the Chinese CCP, those police, the secret police that the CCP had in Canada, they had some in Toronto, BC. I think they had one in Ottawa, and all those places. This is also related to this Chinese diplomat, although this investigation is still hush-hush by the RCMP and CSIS.
So we're going to talk about it.
What? Yeah, so we're gonna talk about it. So we know for a fact that in Canada, the CCP is operating secret police stations, where it's called secret police, but it's not really police officers. It's like Chinese enforcers, right? That work for the CCP government. They go around in Chinese communities and force people to either spy or extract money or things like that.
Oh, so it's a gang.
It's a gang. It's basically a gang. They've been doing this for years now. I think it started around the time during the Hong Kong battle, the fucking war for Hong Kong that happened a few years ago. Then those secret police started popping up because a lot of the people that lived in Hong Kong ran to places like the US and Canada to escape the CCP. Yeah. And they sent the secret police with these secret police stations. It's actually crazy. One of the ones in Toronto, the RCMP busted it and took like photos of the inside and stuff. It's like apartment buildings or houses that are owned by Chinese citizens that are loyalists to China. Yeah. And they just set it up with a bunch of equipment to spy on people.
No fucking way.
It's insane. But yeah. So
that's crazy.
That's ongoing investigation. I'm sure there's going to be more Chinese diplomats and more secret police stuff that's going to pop up in the next couple months. I think that'll be really cool.
So follow the news.
So follow the news for that one.
That's awesome. It sucks because I feel like Asian cultures kind of have an in when it comes to things like that. Like they're going to be able to get away with things like that in Ottawa, Toronto, BC, and they'll blend. No one would bat an eye. Yeah. But if you had a bunch of Canadian loyalists, they would be spotted in a week. Like, hey.
well, that's the thing with the West, right? In the West, a lot of people, there's multiple races and multiple cultures in the West. It's normal to see that. Yeah. Anywhere else in the world, it's not normal to see a bunch of different cultures, So, again, it's much easier to do undercover operations in the West compared to other places in the world. Yeah.
Plus, like, the Canadian one would just be like a bunch of Dixie cups leaning out windows of apartments and be like, this is how we do our surveillance, eh? You can hear everything. You put your ear real close. Let's not forget that Three Dead Babies podcast is always filmed in front of a dead studio audience. Keeping us company.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hollow eyes. Reminds me of my dreams.
And most of my ex-girlfriends.
All right. Another piece of news.
Other piece of news. Fires.
This one's a funny one. Okay. So, I'm sure a lot of people know right now that on the west side of Canada, there's always a lot of forest fires. Normally, they start a little later in the year. But this year, an organization called Women in Fires, which is a women-only firefighter group
Yeah.
decided to go and do some exercises, and they lit some fires in the woods and weren't able to contain them, and now they've burned down like 100 hectares.
Who did they call after?
Firefight men to come fix it.
Yeah, guys, come and fix our fuck up.
Yeah.
What a surprise! You tried, ladies.
Yeah, good work.
This
Good
room-
work. Fuck.
This isn't necessarily pertaining to women, but just the stupidity of human beings. Because fires have been a huge issue.
Yeah.
California, out west, Australia, like they're having huge problems. Like the last 10 years, and just burning massive fucking acres.
Yeah.
The best part of that though is we still won't listen to indigenous cultures talking and farmers. Like that's another piece.
Yeah.
Farmers and indigenous cultures are telling the government you have to cut fucking burn lines
do.
here.
You do.
So that the fire doesn't keep going. And they put them off and they don't want to listen to them. They don't want to spend the money. And then they spend an absorbent amount of money trying to fight this fire and reclaim the land, which is fucked.
Which is funny. Historically speaking, I don't want to go too far off,
Yeah.
but like real quick. Historically speaking, forest fires were not something that happened a lot because throughout all of history, around the globe, people would go into the woods, collect things like fallen branches, fallen trees, and would also chop down large trees
Yeah.
and small trees for different uses. But they would also leave trees because they needed them,
Yeah.
which then prevented massive forest fires like we have today from happening.
Yeah.
So it's a recent thing. And now I'm all for ecology and not conservatism, you know that thing.
Yeah. Conservation.
Conservation.
Yeah.
I'm all for that, but things like you'll often see it at campgrounds and that kind of stuff where they'll be like, don't go into the woods collecting trees. Don't go do this. Don't go do that.
Yeah.
As in taking any sort of brush, and they want you to use their firewood. Part of that is obviously for them to make money on you, but another part of it is they're trying to protect the natural environment. But the thing is that like the natural environment will like burn up if
Yeah.
we don't intervene.
To some degree.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that solves a lot of problems because, especially now, with like forestation or deforestation.
Yeah.
Like you can, with planning and resources, you could be making all of that up by cutting what should be cut.
Yeah.
Right. Taking a small percentage of an ecosystem to make sure that things like that don't happen. They don't
Yeah.
get destroyed, and you can replant there because it'll be far less likely for it
Oh,
to
absolutely.
catch fire.
Yeah.
Or to contain enough combustibles, we'll say, to keep that fire going. 'Cause
Absolutely.
These, again, especially in Australia, like they don't cut, a person-wide path. Like these are massive strips, and that's what they would use everything from that strip for their village, for their town, for their city. Again, it's only in the last 100 years that things have really started to
Yeah.
move away from needing those resources, but now we clear cut forests to keep costs down for them.
Yeah.
And we get left with this mess, and they just decimate a whole ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Where they could easily be taking what they need from these places.
And I don't know, like, the feasibility of, like, financially, it would actually be, in my head, I think it would be cheaper to have a crew of people with smaller equipment go through woods and just harvest
Yeah.
pieces of stuff that you need than it would be to clear cut an entire, I don't know,
Absolutely.
100 hectares, right?
Well,
like, I feel like that's a lot of fucking man labor.
Yeah, it's a ton.
Yeah.
But and again, like even to that, like you're gonna avoid all of the issues with fires, so money can be relocated from whatever budget was allocated for that, or what expenses are needed for that. That can go into making this sustainable logging program.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have all the pushback from protesters, so that's not gonna stifle all of this, commotion and chaos into your daily operations, because everybody will be on the same page that these are for the benefit. We need wood.
Yeah.
Still, it's a big part of our society and
Absolutely.
what we make.
Yeah.
But we understand that these ecosystems are important. So to maintain them, we burn our fire lines, have people come in and plant behind us, and then you can move left or right.
Yeah.
And that would be awesome. And much more sustainable. Again, you would need more powerful mines than just R2, but
Yeah.
not by much.
Yeah. Like really, like you're just going in collecting
Yeah.
wood. It's not that.
And it would give you access to a lot of things. Again, like all of our major ecosystems or major forest systems need something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not just for the West or for Australia. That's again across most parts of the globe. Some of them, you know, Scotland's cut every fucking tree they have down, so they don't really need that.
Yeah.
But let's not let that happen to the rest of the place.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I think it was kind of a light. We didn't
Yeah.
want to do too. We needed a break from how fucking crazy and messed up the world is. But those are some topical stories, and just goes to show you that, you know, have a man put your fire out. No offense, but statistically, you just tried and failed.
Yeah. You did the exact opposite of what you were trying to do.
Opposite. Yeah, fire maker is now your new name.
You're not supposed to fight with the fire.
Yeah. Fight fire with fire doesn't work when you're trying to put something out.
All right.
We should just go and give them a tutorial. That would be awesome. Bunch of jacked, beautiful firefighting women. Just be like, water on.
Yeah, you have a bucket, see fire. Men smart, woman dumb.
This is the most condescending, fucking patronizing thing. It's in your name. I feel like if you're gonna set out on an endeavor like that, you should be, you know.
How are you not ready for it? Like,
Well, it's because we
it's
know
literally
exactly why they're not ready for it.
Yeah, I know. It's but it's like the top best firefighter females in that region get together for this fucking Comic-Con type thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're gonna fucking train on putting down fires. We should have everything here ready to do it.
Yeah.
Let's set something on fire. Oh no.
Yeah.
The wind blew it.
What a fucking curveball. Beverly, you dumbass.
Stupid motherfucker.
Put the water on. Cut your tree lines.
Yeah, that's right.
This has been 3 Dead Babies. We hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We know we did, and that's all that matters.
Don't forget to leave comments, like the video, and please subscribe. It helps us an amazing amount.
Yeah.
Again, I'm Vampire Jesus. This
I'm
is
your
co-host.
fabulous co-host, and we would love to keep, you know, talking shit about everybody's problems. So in that comment section, light it up with whatever's fucking burning your ass, pissing you off, making you crazy, and we'd love to dig into it and have a conversation about it. Until next time, we'll see you later.